The Elder Scrolls Online Update 47 arrived to the public test server yesterday, and wow, do we have some stuff to talk about. This is the first round of balancing changes and new content since the release of Season of the Worm Cult with Update 46, and while there isn't a massive list of changes like I thought there would be, the changes that were made will definitely change how us healers build our characters. So my name's Doc, and let's get into this. I want to start by talking about the class and set balancing since I imagine that's why most of you are here. But I will be talking about the new stuff as well, so make sure to stick around for that. The first and arguably most impactful change for healers is the change to what I believe is every passive skill in the game that grants ultimate. They've changed these passives to, instead of granting flat ultimate, they now will grant minor or major heroism. The actual amount of ultimate granted will still be identical, but now these cannot stack with other sources of heroism. So, what does this mean? Well, it means that for healers who have their sources of heroism covered via potions and either the Pearls of Elnathay or the Trample skill, these passives don't really do anything for you anymore. As you can see, the Catalyst passive from the Siphoning skill line was also affected by this change. That passive was the main reason that Siphoning was present on nearly every healing build in the game. So, does this mean that the Siphoning skill line is dead? Has the king of healer skill lines finally been dethroned? Yes and no. Even without the ultimate generation, Siphoning is still a solid healer skill line that can go well on a lot of builds. It's just that it's not going to be the automatic best in slot option for every single healer build anymore. If you don't currently have a source of major heroism on your build, Siphoning will still be a great choice. But if you do have major heroism covered, you now just have more options for which skill line you'd like to use. I can't really say that I'm surprised by this change, honestly. Nightblades have been among the top healing classes in the game for a long time now, and it was only a matter of time before something came along to bring them in line with everything else. Speaking of nerfs to Ultimate Generation, Replenishing Barrier also got a nerf that completely removed its ability to restore Ultimate. Instead, it now grants more magicka as each shield dissipates. This is a huge hit for barrier spam builds, and even though I had personally recommended Reviving Barrier on my build video, I know a lot of people had swapped over to Replenishing and are now gonna have to swap back. Much like the Siphoning skill line, I don't think barrier spam builds are dead, but I don't think they'll be nearly as strong after Update 47 goes live. Grim Focus from the Assassination skill line got a nerf that makes it so you no longer get weapon and spell damage from the stacks you generate for the skill. While not many healers do use this skill anymore, I know that this is a popular skill to run in hybrid builds for dungeons or for solo builds or whatever, so it felt worth mentioning. Bound Armor from the Daedric Summoning skill line now passively grants major resolve rather than minor protection and extra magicka. While this may seem like a buff, it is most definitely a nerf. Major Resolve is pretty easily sourced from your tank, who will likely be running Expansive Frost Cloak from the Winter's Embrace skill line, so I suspect that healers will drop this skill altogether for the few of us that are still running Daedric Summoning. And there was only one change to a healer set, and it was a small little buff to Roaring Opportunist that got rid of the old Penetration stat line and replaced it with some extra weapon and spell damage. Not a huge change, but hey, a welcomed one nonetheless. Up next, let's talk about some of the new content we're getting, starting with the Feast of Shadows dungeon pack that introduces two new dungeons, Naj Kaldish and Black Gem Foundry. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get to play Naj Kaldish because it's not possible to solo that dungeon and queue times are crazy long on the PTS, so I can't really say anything about it. I did get to play Black Gem Foundry, however, and I gotta say, I'm pleasantly surprised. Yes, I was soloing it, but even on normal, I felt like it was a bit challenging. Enemies hit pretty hard and had a decent amount of health. I don't know how much different things will be on Vet or HM, but I'm definitely excited to find out. There's only one new healer set this time around, and it's called Lustrous Soulwell. Found in the Black Gem Foundry, this set will grant Magicka stamina and health recovery for you and 3 group members when casting your ultimate. I think we can safely ignore this set. Even if you feel like you need a recovery set, I'll be honest, there are just definitely better ones than this. Moving on, Solstice got some updates. The Writhing Wall event test is currently active in the PTS, and it adds quite a bit. There's a new quest, or possibly series of quests, that I won't spoil anything for, but is definitely an important part of our journey in Solstice. The war effort to bring down the wall is in full swing on the PTS, and a couple of the quests are pretty much what you'd expect. Go to a place, defeat some enemies, come back, repeat, and you get some progress for the war effort. I will say, though, that it seems as if all types of players can contribute to the war effort. If you don't like fighting and you don't want to do the quests that just have you go kill some stuff and come back, you can focus on quests that involve crafting weapons and armor. If you're a healer or a tank, you can go help out your fellow players with the new incursion event Siege Camps, where you'll need to defend camps from invading Daedric forces. In my opinion, they're definitely harder than dolmens or geysers, but I don't think I'd say they're quite as difficult as something like a Harrow Storm or a Dragon Hunt. And finally, we've got some quality of life changes as well. We can reroll visions in the Infinite Archive using archival fortunes. There are some improvements to our compass. We can now swim using our mounts. There were some updates to dodge roll visuals, and we can replay quest dialogue. Of course, though, there are plenty of other changes and new things that I didn't talk about here, but you guys know that I like to keep things healer-focused, or at least healer-adjacent around here. If you'd like to read the patch notes for yourself to catch up on anything that I didn't mention, I will make sure to link them below for you guys. Otherwise, that was all we had to cover. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it useful. Don't forget to subscribe and check out the link tree below to follow me on stuff and join my Discord server. I'd also like to take a moment to thank my Patreon supporters Dylan Stewart and Sharni Lee, as well as my YouTube members King Gingy, Durgy, insert username Eric from Ohio, and Time Burn. Thank you guys for continuing to support me, and y'all are the best. I think all I've got left to say is that I've been Doc. Take care of yourselves, be good to others, don't forget to read those patch notes, and I will catch y'all in the next one.